Welcome to the fourth European Summit of STEAM Educators, where we gather to address the most transformative moment in educational history. As we stand at the crossroads between technological advancements and human wisdom, we face unprecedented opportunities and challenges that will shape the future of learning across Europe and beyond. Artificial intelligence has emerged as both a powerful ally and a formidable challenge in education. This technology promises personalized learning experiences, automated administrative tasks, and 24/7 educational support. Students can now access adaptive learning platforms that adjust content and pace to meet individual needs, while educators benefit from real time feedback systems that identify learning gaps early. However, the integration of AI in education brings significant concerns. The risk of progressive individualization threatens the very essence of peer learning communities that have long been the foundation of collaborative knowledge construction. When AI provides all the answers, we must question why students would need to learn from one another. This challenge undermines traditional peer to peer mentorship programs that serve as catalysts for innovation, personal growth, and professional development. The implications extend beyond the classroom. AI's capacity to replace the traditional role of the teacher or the educator as knowledge holder and key learning facilitator represents a fundamental shift in educational paradigms. Teachers are transforming from knowledge imparters to metacognitive coaches, requiring enhanced technical training, innovative teaching methods, and clarified role orientation. This evolution sees educators becoming learning architects who orchestrate sophisticated educational experiences while maintaining their crucial role as mentors and guides. In this increasingly digital landscape, STEAM education offers a vital counterbalance. Hands-on activities involving diverse materials and electronics provide essential tactile experiences that keep learning grounded in physical reality. These authentic, engaging contexts allow students to engage in reflection, imagination, and comparison through specific, tangible examples that digital learning alone cannot provide. The power of physical STEAM learning lies in its ability to develop critical competencies that prepare students for an uncertain future. These competences encompass knowledge, skills, and attitudes necessary to deliver innovative STEAM education that bridges theoretical understanding with practical application. When students build robots, create with 3D printing, or conduct sensor based experiments, they develop problem solving abilities and creativity that complement rather than compete with AI capabilities. The predicted impact of AI on the labor market represents what may be the most significant systemic social revolution of our lives. Current projections suggest that AI could affect a significant amount of jobs and displace 6 or 7% of the workforce globally if widely adopted. By 2030, at least 14% of employees globally could need to change careers due to digitalization, robotics, and AI advancements. This transformation raises critical questions about educational preparedness. What work will exist in the near future? What competences are we training today? Are our schools updated and upgraded to respond to these changes? The answer lies in fostering skills such as critical thinking, creativity, and problem solving, abilities that AI cannot replicate and that STEAM education naturally cultivates. Educational institutions must adapt their approaches to prepare students for a labor market where human AI collaboration becomes the norm. The future belongs to those who can work alongside AI systems while maintaining uniquely human capabilities of emotional intelligence, ethical reasoning, and innovative thinking. Beyond formal education, community based STEAM initiatives are flourishing. Non governmental organizations, local networks, code clubs, hack labs, and makerspaces are expanding their activities and contributing significantly to the rise of STEAM approaches within schools. These community operated workspaces provide access to tools, fabrication equipment, and collaborative environments where individuals with common interests in science, technology, engineering, and arts can connect, create, and collaborate. These community spaces serve also as social hubs for innovation and growth, offering support and knowledge to makers of all levels. They embody the collaborative spirit essential to STEAM education, demonstrating how diverse communities can come together to foster creativity, problem solving, and also lifelong learning. Their growing influence extends into formal educational settings, where they provide models for hands on, project based learning that complements traditional classroom instruction. We want especially to extend our deep gratitude to the Directorate General for Education, Arts and Culture of the European Commission, especially through the dedicated work of Maria Podlasek Ziegler. Her observation and support of projects, ideas, and approaches developed by local and global STEAM educators demonstrate the commitment of European institutions to educational innovation. This recognition comes at a time when many educators work with limited resources, striving to change mentalities and promote educational development and local innovation. Maria Podlasek Ziegler's role as policy officer for school education exemplifies the European Commission's dedication to supporting educational transformation. Her work in moderating policy dialogues and facilitating discussion between researchers, educators, and policymakers creates essential bridges between innovation and implementation across European educational systems. At the culmination of this summit, we will produce and present a collective declaration to the world. This document will represent our shared vision for STEAM education in the age of AI, articulating our commitment to maintaining human centered learning while embracing technological advancement. Our declaration will emphasize the importance of balanced approaches that leverage AI's capabilities while preserving the collaborative, hands on experiences that define effective STEAM education. We will advocate for educational systems that prepare students not merely to coexist with AI, but to partner with it creatively and ethically. This vision encompasses inclusive learning environments that bridge digital divides support educator transformation, and foster community partnerships that strengthen educational ecosystems. The future of education requires us to be both pragmatic about technological realities and visionary about human potential. Through our collective voice, we will champion STEAM education as a fundamental approach to preparing learners for a world where technological sophistication must be balanced with human wisdom, creativity, and again, ethical reasoning. Together, we stand ready to shape the future of education, ensuring that as we embrace the digital age, we never lose sight of the human element that makes learning truly transformative. Have a great summit.
It is an honor and pleasure to join the fourth European Summit of STEAM Educators, and I would like to congratulate you on this outstanding initiative. Building a transnational network, such as the European Network of STEAM Educators, requires determination and effort, but also a vision. This vision embraces novel approaches to teaching and learning embodied in transformative STEAM education. It recognizes the essential competences for the 21st century, including critical thinking, creativity, and problem-solving skills. It promotes dynamic, participatory learning processes needed to acquire such competences. In addition, STEAM teaching and learning, which combines science, technology, engineering, and mathematics with arts, social sciences, and humanities, is not limited by disciplinary boundaries, as real life does not know such boundaries. This vision also recognizes the crucial role of STEAM educators as the agents of change. Without dedicated educators from inside and outside of schools, the transformation in education cannot happen. The educational transformation, as any other innovation process, requires an interplay between policy and practice. I'm happy to introduce a recent policy initiative at EU level, which was adopted in March this year as part of the broader Union of Skills initiative, the STEM Education Strategic Plan. Its goal is to advance STEM education in Europe, which is considered crucial for the green and digital transitions, for a democratic society, and individual empowerment. Actions proposed by the STEM plan are currently being implemented. Let me mention, for instance, the pilot STEM education centers, an EU STEM competence framework, and a European STEM week, among others. Supported by Erasmus+, the pilot STEM education centers for schools will combine formal and non-formal learning environments. They will bring together schools with local community actors, such as science museums, public authorities, cultural associations, and businesses in STEM learning ecosystems. This is expected to stimulate educational innovation and social inclusion through a holistic view on education. The EU STEM competence framework will aim to consolidate STEM and STEAM concepts by defining learning outcomes. This has the potential to inform curricular development, teacher training, impact assessment, and support cooperation between policy and practice in the long term. Finally, the European STEM Week will build on existing initiatives across Europe to raise awareness about the value of STEM education. The goal is to challenge social stereotypes and cultural biases and attract underrepresented groups such as women, students with a lower socioeconomic or migrant background, and with disabilities. The European Network of STEM Educators has already been involved in consultations on EU initiatives. We are very grateful for this valuable contribution, and we count on your involvement in the future. Thank you for your attention.
Today, we live in a world where artificial intelligence is no longer a futuristic concept. It's a part of our daily lives. It's in our phones, in our homes, and increasingly in our classrooms. AI in education brings both excitement and concern. But the truth is simple. It's already here, and it's reshaping how we teach and learn, often more than we realize. AI isn't the future, it's the now. Students are currently using tools like ChatGPT to help with homework. Students and teachers are crafting personalized lessons with smart software, and school administrators are leveraging data to improve outcomes. So the real question isn't should we use AI, but how should we use AI? It's a powerful ally. Think about the support it can offer to students with learning challenges. There are tools that read text aloud, translate languages, and explain concepts in various ways until they make sense. For students with dyslexia, ADHD, or other difficulties, AI can be a game changer, providing an accessible and tailored support. AI can also help students improve their writing, suggesting ideas, correcting grammar, and enhancing structure. It's not only about cheating, it's about learning. It's like having a tutor available 24/7. It's a support system for teachers too. For educators, AI is a valuable partner. It automates routine tasks like grading or quiz creation, freeing up time for what really matters, that's to say teaching. It can analyze students' data and suggest customized activities, making it easier to meet diverse learning needs. In today's diverse classrooms, AI helps ensure no student is left behind. But caution, it's not a shortcut. Of course, there are many risks. Misused AI risks becoming a quick fix that determines deeper understanding. A student who submits an AI written essay misses out on developing essential skills like critical thinking and creativity. That's why digital literacy is crucial. Students need to understand what AI is, how it works, and what its limitations are. They should learn to question AI, evaluate its responses, and use it to enhance, not replace, their own thinking. We also need to consider factors such as ethics and responsibility. We must also teach the ethical use of AI, understanding data privacy, recognize bias, and navigating the digital world with awareness and integrity. In conclusion, AI won't replace teachers or traditional education. Instead, it can amplify human potential. If used thoughtfully, AI can transform classrooms into spaces of active, creative, personalized learning. So the real question isn't whether AI belongs in education, but how we can use it to deepen the learning experience without losing sight of its core values: critical thinking, creativity, and curiosity. AI isn't the destination, it's a tool. It's up to us to shape the future of learning with intelligence and intention. Let's view AI not as a threat to tradition, but as an invitation to innovate how we engage with knowledge. The classroom of tomorrow will thrive whether human empathy meets technological possibility. True educational progress lies not in replacing methods, but in remaining them with purpose. When technology amplifies curiosity instead of replacing it, learning becomes limitless. As a teacher, I've watched my students grow not just by what they learn, but by how they struggle, question, and find their own voice. When AI entered the classroom, I felt a mix of hope and hesitation. But over time, I have come to see AI not as a treat, but as a companion one that, if guided with heart and purpose, can support the most human parts of learning: wonder, imagination, and connection. It reminds me that our role isn't to control the path, but to walk beside them as they discover it. Thank you very much.
What if I told you Ease Academy 2.0 could transform your approach to STEAM education? Imagine empowering your teaching strategies and fostering creativity in your students with just a few clicks. Ease Academy offers asynchronous learning paths tailored specifically for educators across all levels. With our STEAM Education e-trainer certification, you'll gain the skills to create impactful online training programs at half the cost, all while receiving continuous support from our intelligent chatbot, Ease GPT. Curious about the impact of AI on learning environments or how to integrate digital storytelling in your classroom? We've got courses designed to ignite your passion and drive results. Our low-cost STEAM activities provide engaging, hands-on experiences for students of all ages using readily available materials. Are you ready to take your teaching to the next level? Join Ease Academy today and redefine your professional development journey. Don't miss out. Get started now.
Hello everyone, my name is Silvana Jakimovska-Binova from primary school Strašo Pinčur Karbinci in North Macedonia, and today I will speak about implementing STEM learning ecologies in my school. STEM Learning Ecologies is an EU Horizon Europe initiative that connects schools with their local communities in a meaningful way, linking formal, non-formal and informal learning into one continuous experience. Today I will share how we apply this approach in a primary school in North Macedonia, turning occasional company visits into co-created STEAM activities. The methodology starts with seeing the school as a part of a knowledge ecosystem. It's not just about opening the doors to visitors, it's about creating a structure where students, teachers, industry partners, NGOs, and public institutions co-design learning experience. This is built on principles like ensuring everyone is included, working together in every stage from planning to delivery, and creating partnerships that remain active after the project ends. To start with STEAM learning ecologies, the most important things are collaboration and co-creation. Choose one real-world challenge like environment, health, culture, and so on. Engage stakeholders. Invite parents, local businesses, NGOs, cultural centers, and use co-creation sessions like brainstorm, map resources, define roles, and make outcomes visible through exhibitions, reports, digital media. The key is to start small, but think in ecosystem. The challenge of our STEM Learning Ecologies project, My Health and Well-Being Through Data and Science, was to inspire students to take care of their health and well-being and explore future careers in healthcare. The initiator was me and my colleague Juliana Popovski, a teachers from primary school Strašopi and Đurkarbinci. Other stakeholders included in our project were Service for Preventive Health Care for Preschool and School Children, Physical Therapy Department at the Clinical Hospital in Štip, and Secondary Medical School in Štip. In these dynamic hands-on projects, students aged 12 to 14 years explored how science and technology can help us to take care of our health. Blending biology, math, physics, and digital tools, the journey began with a deep dive into real medical check-up reports and a visit to a preventive healthcare center. Students discovered how everyday choices and technology shape our physical and emotional well-being. They become young health researchers, tracking personal habits, creating health journals, building measuring tools with microbit, and analyzing real data about their bodies and minds. From digital detox challenges to visualizing emotional patterns, the activity sparked curiosity and critical thinking. The project wrapped up with a peek into future careers in health and science, inspiring all students, especially girls, to see themselves as tomorrow's scientists, doctors, and innovators. Our project showed how STEAM learning ecologies can truly transform learning by connecting students with real data, real problems, and real stakeholders. We didn't just see improved scientific and digital skills. We saw students growing in confidence, teamworking, and critical thinking. Most importantly, their motivation changed because they felt their work mattered beyond the classroom. In our project, Health and Well-Being Through Data and Science, this came to life. Students weren't only studying data, they were analyzing their own health habits, connecting science with daily life, and working alongside teachers and local partners. And this is the real strength of STEM learning ecologies. Collaboration doesn't just mean visiting stakeholders outside of school. It means building meaningful, ongoing partnerships where students, teachers, and stakeholders co-design solutions together. The impact speaks for itself. Empower students who act as creators, not passive learners, connected learning that links knowledge to real challenges, a culture of collaboration across the whole community, and sustainable skills and values that prepare our students to be future-ready citizens. By embracing STEAM learning ecologies, teachers can become bridge builders, connecting classroom with real-world challenges and empowering students to learn with purpose, creativity, and impact.
Hello everyone, I am Annalita Bisogni, a primary school teacher from a small province in southern Italy. The project I'm sharing with you today, Full STEM Ahead, was promoted by the Polo School Istituto Superiore di Tropea. I am a Shantix, Merseycube and Quiver ambassador and a Makey teacher certified educator. For over 5 years, I've been a national trainer for Scuola Futura and I've participated in educational conferences and publications focused on teaching innovation. I believe education is never just about delivering content. It's about relationships, discovery, and experience. Teaching for me means sparking curiosity, cultivating wonder, and guiding without giving all the answers. Real learning happens when hands, minds, and hearts work together. With this in mind, I created Full STEM Ed, an immersive educational experience designed for teachers and children together. The day was divided into large labs, one on circuits and creative electronics, and one on augmented and virtual reality. Small mixed group of adults and children rotated every 20 minutes through different stations, each exploring the same topic from a different perspective. Each table included an activity sheet with clear instructions and a brief explanation of the scientific principle involved.
Cioè, al posto della batteria abbiamo messo la carta stagnola e lui funziona. Cioè, al posto della batteria abbiamo messo la carta stagnola e lui funziona.
The heart of the day was station-based learning. This approach encouraged autonomy, supported collaborative learning, fostered problem-solving, and embraced tinkering, where mistakes become opportunities for creativity. We worked in the spirit of Vygotsky's zone of proximal development. Children and teachers learning together, side by side, supporting one another. We explored circuits, conductive materials, soft circuits, sensors, solar energy, color and light through Newton's disk, simple paper and fabric circuits, making, using fluids and touch to generate sound, even earthquake sensors built with basic components. Meanwhile, in Augmented and Virtual Reality Lab, we build virtual worlds in CoSpaces Edu, animated 3D drawing with Quiver, explored object with using Merseycube, designed in Tinkercad, drew in 3D with Doodle 3D. Children become scientists, artists, and inventors. Teachers become co-explorers. This dual role was essential. Everyone learned by doing, together. Although we didn't write code, we practiced the core elements of computational thinking: abstraction, decompositions, debugging, and pattern recognition. And when something didn't work, we resigned and we collaborated and we tried again. Mistakes weren't failure, they were the starting point of new discovery. As Seymour Papert said, we learn best by playing with ideas. And Ken Robinson remembered as creativity is born when we are not afraid to be wrong. At the end of the day, we asked, what did you learn today? One child simply said, teacher, everything is possible. That sentence said all. STEM is not just a collection of disciplines, it's a way to read the world, to connect knowledge, emotion, and the future. Full STEM Ahead is more than a project, it's a living, shared idea of school. It's how we say we can teach differently and we can do it together.
Bravo! Sì, però devi togliere. Bravo!
Thank you for listening to our story. Let's keep building, dreaming, and learning. Full STEM ahead.
Hello, I'm Irma Hoxha. I'm Albanian teacher of ICT and mathematics since 2005, and I'm also ambassador of Scientix, eTwinning, and T for Education. I'm here to introduce my presentation, The Role of Digital Skills in Future-Proof STEM Education. First of all, I think that as teachers, we have to work with digital skills because we know that nowadays digital skills matter, and they don't matter only in the terms of teaching at the school, in learning of students, but digital skills matter in everyday activities. As we know, so many jobs of nowadays didn't exist some decades back. Not even one decade back. Same it is going to happen in the future. Jobs of the future don't exist yet, and they're fully related with digital skills. As teachers, we have to build some skills in our students that have not to be like programming so difficult, because not in every subject we can teach them programming, but some basic skills in coding, in creativity, and computational thinking. Digital skills, by my opinion, are the new literacy of the 21st century. I've included just two examples of classroom which I had with my students. The first one is about coding. I've done so many coding activities, but here I included just the students built simple apps and games. They connected math with real-world problem solving. And during these activities, in these simple coding activities, they developed problem solving. They worked as team to solve those problems and they were creative. Yes, math can be creative. And the class example number 2 includes designing of 3D eco-friendly school and tablet. Through these activities, students integrated science, engineering, technology, mathematics, using creativity and knowledge in their projects and devices. As you see, there are some devices, 3D. There are schools, they use coding in this, and also using the apps, some programming to create the 3D schools. All these activities lead to students boosted motivation and ownership of learning. And I think as teachers, we can use some simple strategies, 4 strategies, to be more specific. We can start small by some little activities of coding in our subjects. I did this in math and ICT, but it can be used in science also and in other subjects. We can use free tools. There are so many free tools that as teachers we can use. Here I included just Scratch, GeoGebra, and we can combine those tools to create simulations in the classrooms, which is going to be fun for students, but they're going to learn during these fun activities. And third, we can include some project-based learning activities with real-world problems, small problems, little problems, starting from the school problems or problems that students hear every day what's happening in their neighborhood, town, and we can help them to give ideas and maybe they can give some solutions for those problems. And what's more important for us as teachers, they are the networks for not only for the professional development of us, but it is important even to new methods and to combine those new methods that we learn during these seminars and online or on-site workshops and activities. There are so many in Erasmus Plus and in other European teaching communities. So start small, use free tools, include projects, and be part of the networks. And as conclusion, I think that we all have to know and to include digital skills in our teaching because they empower critical thinking and creativity in our students in every subject. And it is important for us as teachers to be part of preparing our students for the unknown jobs of tomorrow. And because the digital skills must be at the heart of STEM education through activities, through combining all what I mentioned before. For, as I think, future-proof STEM education starts today, and it is very important for the future of our students. Thank you.
Ever wondered how to revolutionize your STEAM classroom? Introducing Ease's Exchange, your gateway to an incredible collection of free lesson plans specifically for STEAM educators. With easy-to-use templates, you can quickly create tailored lesson plans for any grade, whether it's kindergarten or 12th grade. Imagine joining a vibrant community of like-minded educators, sharing ideas and best practices that elevate student engagement in subjects like coding, robotics, and environmental science. Plus, you can contribute your own ideas and vote on upcoming plans, ensuring the resources you want are developed. Why struggle alone when you can transform your teaching with Ease Exchange? Don't miss out. Join our community today and empower your classroom with innovative STEAM lessons. Visit the Ease Exchange platform to get started.
took from kindergarten Vinerea. I want to talk about my STEM education activity in my class, and where I bring STEM education to our youngest learner in kindergarten. My passion lies in creating engaging and interactive learning experience that introduce children to the wonderful world of science, technology, engineering, and math. Let me introduce you to Scientix, a groundbreaking initiative that's transforming science education across Europe. Scientix is more than just a platform. It's a vibrant community that connects teachers, researchers, and education professionals. The platforms offer an extensive collection of teaching material, project finding, and innovative pedagogical resources. What makes Scientix truly special is how it facilitates collaboration between educators, allowing us to share best practices and create more engaging science education experience for our students. My journey to become a Scientix ambassador has been incredibly rewarding. Through extensive training and professional development with the European SchoolNet Academy, that I recommend to all of you, I've gained a valuable certification that have enhanced my teaching capabilities. One of my proudest achievement has been earning the STEM school label, which recognizes our commitment to excellence in STEM education. This journey has transformed not just my teaching approach, but our entire school's perspective on STEM education. Why focus on STEM education in kindergarten? The answer lies in the incredible potential of early childhood learning. During these formative years, children are natural scientists, curious, experimental, and eager to understand the world around them. Our STEM approach emphasizes super fun activities that promote teamwork, problem-solving energy, focused concentration, and multiple learning style. By introducing STEM concepts early, from kindergarten, we're laying a strong foundation for future learning and critical thinking skills. In our indoor STEM experiments, we create magical learning moments through hands-on discovery. Our young scientists engage in colorful liquid experiments that teach them about basic chemistry and physics. They learn to observe, predict, and draw conclusions while having fun with safe and engaging material. These experiments are designed to spark curiosity and encourage scientific thinking in an age-appropriate way. Taking STEM education outdoor adds another exciting dimension to learning. Our outdoor activities combine natural exploration with scientific concepts, allowing children to discover the mathematical patterns in nature, understand environmental science, and develop their physical abilities alongside their scientific knowledge. These activities help children see how STEM concepts exist everywhere in their natural environment. During winter, we transform seasonal challenges into exciting learning opportunities. Our winter STEM activities include experiments with snow and ice, creating geometric snowflakes, and exploring concepts like temperature and states of matter. These seasonal activities make learning relevant to children's immediate experience while teaching fundamental scientific principles. Art plays a crucial role in our STEM program, transforming it into STEM education. By integrating artistic expression with scientific experiment, we engage different learning styles and foster creativity alongside analytical thinking. Children create beautiful artwork while learning about color, mixing, patterns, and the scientific process, making the learning experience more holistic and engaging. Our dedication to STEM education has been recognized through various awards and certification. These achievements, including our STEM school label and Scientix certification, reflect our commitment to providing high-quality STEM education from the earliest year. I invite you to join us on the exciting STEM education journey. Whether you're an educator, parent, or someone passionate about early childhood education, the Scientix community welcome you. Visit Scientix to discover resources, connect with fellow educators, and learn how to implement engaging STEM activities in early education. Together, we can inspire the next generation of scientists, engineers, and innovators. And also use e-twinning to implement these STEM and STEAM activities. They validate our approach and inspire us to continue innovating in early childhood education. Thank you.
My name is Alina Istratescu. I am a primary school teacher at Basarabescu Secondary School in Ploiești, Romania. I am a scientific ambassador, an official Salto trainer, and the coordinator of Erasmus project. It is a great honor to be here today at EASE Summit to talk about a subject I believe is essential for the future of education, integrating the STEAM approach, science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics from the very first year of schooling. We live in an era where artificial intelligence and technological innovation are radically transforming the way we learn, work, and think. This is why it is crucial for primary education to lay the foundation not only of knowledge but also of curiosity, creativity, and critical thinking. Why STEAM in primary? Because children are naturally curious and eager to explore. Early introduction of STEAM concepts help them make connection between discipline and with the real world. Learning become more attractive, interdisciplinarity, and relevant. Children learn not only to seek answers but also to formulate questions. And now I want to present a project. Is a STEAM project that we had in our school. The name of the project is the Little Explorer. The Little Explorer project is an educational initiative designed for primary school students attending a neighborhood school in an urban area, focused on integrating STEAM education into the learning process. The project aimed to provide primary students with an interactive, engaging, and practical experience that will help them develop essential skills in STEM fields. In order for primary students to understand how the world around them works, it is necessary to equip the school with a science learning space specifically adapted to their age and needs, furnished with appropriate materials. The laboratory will facilitate the observation and exploration of the world, its complexity, its component, process, and phenomena, will encourage learning through understanding and hand-on application. The motivation behind these proposals is that the target group of students come from an urban environment attending a neighborhood school where they have no access to modern equipment, well-equipped laboratory, or extracurricular activities that promote STEAM learning. They currently learn mathematics and environmental exploration concepts without being able to connect them to real-life context. These projects seek to fill these gaps and provide equal opportunity for all children. Primary school children are naturally curious and have an innate desire to explore the world around them. Our goal is to harness this curiosity by transforming science and technology into an experience where students can learn through experiment and practical projects. This will increase the motivation for learning, considering the main advantage of STEAM activities, the immediate applicability of knowledges to the real life. The Little Explorer project aimed to show students how the concepts they learn at school can be used to understand and improve the world around them. Thus, learning becomes meaningful and relevant, stimulate their desire to discover more. In addition to technical knowledges, the project developed collaboration, problem-solving, critical thinking, and adaptability skills. They are not only valuable for future careers, but also for everyday life. Innovative elements for this project include an interdisciplinarity approach, showing students how STEAM fields interact in real life, This will allow them to see the relevance of their learning in different contexts and develop holistic thinking. Students will be encouraged to be creative in their approaches, to collaborate and to find interdisciplinarity solutions. Active learning methodology activities are designed to be hands-on, encouraging students to experiment and solve real-world problems. 21st century skills development. The project focuses on fostering critical thinking, problem solving, creativity, collaboration, and communicative skills. They are key competencies required in the increasingly digital and technology driven society. Benefit for the student. After the completion of the Little Explorer project, the beneficiary, primary school students in this case, will gain a set of essential knowledges that and skills for their personal and academic development, preparing them for the future. They will understand fundamental concepts in fields such as biology, physics, chemistry, and ecology through practical activities and experiment. They will acquire basic knowledge about the use of technology and learn how digital device and educational platform can be applied in the learning process. They will learn to apply engineering principles to design and build objects, discovering the role of structures, material, and functionality in the real life. They will develop mathematical skills, including logic and reasoning, through application and games involving calculation and mathematical problem solving. Through engineering projects and scientific experiments, students will learn to analyze situations and find creative, effective solutions. They will develop analytical thinking necessary for addressing everyday challenges. The project activity will stimulate creative thinking and innovation. Students will learn to propose original solutions to problems they encountered and to create projects with practical value. The project will nurture a genuine interest in science, fostering curiosity about the natural and technological phenomena that surround them. They will encourage a long-term desire to continue exploring and learning. The project will boost students' self-confidence to the realization and presentation of their own project. They will become more motivated to explore new fields and take one new challenge to their learning journey. In this project, we have six activity. First one, it was experimental science workshop. In this activity, students will take part in a simple and engaging experiment designed to develop their understanding of fundamental concepts in biology, physics, and chemistry. For example, they will learn about capillarity through the rainbow in a glass experiment and about liquid density with the lava lamp experiment. The next one, it was practical construction and engineering. Students will build different structures using simple materials, paper, wood, plastic, exploring concepts such as material strength, balance, and design functionality. Project may include building bridge from sticks or creating buildings out of blocks. The activity named Robotic and Programming Workshop, Robot in Action. In this activity, students using simple robotic kits like Lego Widow to learn the basics of programming and engineering. Students will build simple robots and program them to perform basic tasks. The next one, it was astronomical observation. Organizing sky observation session using telescope and star guide. Students will learn about planets, constellations, and other celestial bodies, thus exploring the basics of astronomy. Another activity, it was about ecology. The name, it was Ecologic Workshop Environment Detectives. Students will observe the surrounding environment, water quality, air pollution, biodiversity, and propose solutions to protect nature. They may measure pollution level in a local area and suggest recycling or tree planting initiatives. Last one it was STEAM creating workshop, Inventor of Tomorrow. Students are encouraged to imagine and create their own invention using recycled materials and other accessibility resources. They will present their invention and explain how they work. The teacher roles in this project it was that teacher become a facilitator of learning, not just a provider of information. Teacher create real context for exploration, guide students to make connection across discipline, encourage the courage to make mistakes and learn from them. Integrating STEAM into primary education is not just a trend, it's a necessary. If we want to prepare children for a future dominated by artificial intelligence and rapid change, we must provide them from an early age with the tools of interdisciplinary thinking, creativity, and collaboration. Education is not longer only about learning answers, but about cultivate curiosity, imagination, and the ability to create new solutions.
Hi, my name is Rashmi Iyer. I work as a Central Tech Integrator for the Universal Education Group of Schools in India. My topic today is Tinker, Train, Teach, an AI toolkit for educators. Before I begin, I'd like to thank the EASE team for giving this opportunity for the second time. Why do we use AI in education? Why do we promote AI tools for educators and learners? So basically, we as educators spend a lot of time in planning lessons or assessments for our students, most of which is very time consuming and very repetitive in nature. If we use AI tools effectively, we can deliver very high quality lessons. We can ensure there is a personalized learning opportunity for every child in the class. And most of the learning outcomes are met. We in India, we have started integrating AI for our educators. We take professional development sessions for our educators wherein they can explore different tools, see what best suits them and use them effectively to ensure they save time. Let us move forward. In today's session, I'm going to talk about 3 different tools. One is Quick Draw. Second, Teachable Machine. Third, Canva Code. What is Quick Draw basically? So Quick Draw is it's an AI tool which is free to use and it can be really engaging for both educators and learners. So we here are basically trying to have AI integrated in the sessions, and because we have AI integration for our students, we take sessions on AI for students. One of the topic we teach is machine learning, and while we are teaching machine learning, we would like our students to explore Quick Draw as a tool, to promote visual arts through learning. Second is teachable machines. Again, while they learn that there is something called machine learning, they also learn the idea of training models to complete a particular task. And the third tool is basically, one of the tool that we use from the AI toolkit that we have, that is Canva code, right? So let us begin the session further and see what Quick Draw does. So Quick Draw is a free tool by Google, and what it does, it's a wonderful visual suite, because what you do there is you try to draw an object, and the AI, the model, or the machine basically tries to guess what it is, right? So this is really very good and very engaging for our educators. And where can you use it is basically you can try using it as an icebreaker or a starter activity in your classroom. Also, if you are planning to take any sessions on AI where you're teaching machine learning to the students, this would be a great tool to start with. So I've just tried to create a very small video clip for all of us to understand how this basically works. So yeah, so what Quick Draw does is it just tells you, okay, draw a whale in some, there's some time limit given, and you are basically trying to draw a whale. Now, because I'm not very good with drawing, I've tried to scribble something which, if matches to something that looks like a whale, then the machine identifies that, yeah, it's a fish, it's a whale, it's a shark, right? So this is very a very good tool and a very fun way in which you can engage the students. It told me to draw a harp, and I'm like trying to figure out how do I draw a harp, and then I try to come out with the background of the harp. So if you see, this is really very good for us to understand how machines learn, right? So what goes behind is a huge data set that is helping the machine to identify what we have drawn or what the child has drawn. So it has told me to draw a helicopter, and it goes on and on and on, and you can spend hours exploring this Quick Draw tool. So that is really, really good, and I would really request you educators to please go ahead and try to explore it. Right, let us move forward. The next tool that I'm going to talk about is teachable machines. One of the other tool okay, the next tool that I'm talking about The next tool that I'm going to talk about is teachable machine. What teachable machine does is basically, based on the data that we have uploaded, we are training a model to identify images or sound or a pose, right? So this basically helps students to understand how to train a model to do a particular task. It can be as simple as identifying a sound, So these are very this overall platform is very engaging when you are planning to conduct some science experiments or coding projects, right? Let us see how teachable machine works. Yeah, so if you see here, this is how the teachable platform looks like, and I wanted the machine to identify an apple for me. So what I've done is I have taken few images of an apple, and I have uploaded those images into this, because I want my model to identify an apple if I show any apple to it. Okay, and the next one is a mobile phone. I also wanted to identify how a mobile phone looks like. So if I show a mobile phone, it should say that, okay, it looks like a mobile phone. So yeah, so that way I have actually uploaded few images of a mobile phone as well. The success of this platform is the more the data set that you upload, the better trained the model is, right? So so if you see here, when I click on train the model, and if I'm trying to basically show a mobile phone, it is able to gauge that it's 100% a mobile phone. So if you see the graph below, it definitely shows how much percent is the object. Now I've opened an apple on the smartphone on my phone, and then I've shown the apple to it, and then now it is able to identify that it's an apple. So the best thing to do while we explore this is we are actually able to reflect and understand what it is to train a model, and how do these models react, and when will they work better. Yeah. The third tool that we are going to look at is one of the tools from the AI toolkit that we have, and that is Canva AI. Canva AI has a lot of AI features. One which really is very good is Canva Code for Me. Let us just quickly see how it looks like. So this is a small video that shows the Canva code. So basically, if you see here on the left hand side, I've just put a prompt of to the Canva code saying please generate a space based quiz, and I've mentioned the subject to solve some basic math problems like addition and subtraction. And if you see, I don't have to type any code, I don't need to know any coding, and what it does is magic. It just creates beautifully done engaging quiz for the students. And yeah, if you see this, I'm able to work around and solve the problem. And that's a wonderful thing. You can basically develop word search games, flashcard games, so many other games using Canva Code AI platform. There are these are the three tools for today. I know it's a very quick one, but the idea is to get a starting point, especially if you are a beginner in the field of AI and who would want to know how do we basically start with or give our students some exposure on AI. These tools like Quick Draw or Teachable Machines are a great way your kids can the students can begin with. Right now, what are the benefits that educators can have is obviously if using AI will help save time. It promotes inquiry based learning. There's no coding required for an educator. The more we talk about AI, and in any session that I talk about AI to my educators, all I emphasize is on the fact that how much ever AI generates contents for you, please do not forget to read the content that AI has generated, and ensure that you are the best judge for your own subject, and do not completely rely on the AI generated content. So with this disclaimer, I'd like to end the session here, and I think thanks a lot. Thanks for hearing me out. Let us all start making use of AI as a tool to create something, and not hesitate to explore different AI tools that are in market today. Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. Good day. Bye.
Hello, I'm happy to be with you in a room full of people who, like me, are trying to solve one of the most complex puzzles of the modern world, education. And at the center of this puzzle, we, teachers, are trying to give students a coherent picture of the world. And the interdisciplinary puzzle connecting the theme first in my classroom no longer has only the traditional pieces. In that past year, a new piece was emerged and challenged the entire system, intelligent and artificial. Initially, we saw it a tool, but we quickly realized that AI is a much more than that. It is a test for how we think about teaching, about learning, and about the future. The first reaction, probably familiar to many of you, was fear, forbidding. But we quickly realized that AI cannot be stopped. The second challenge was understanding how we integrate AI into teaching. Our role is to teach students to navigate this information, evaluate it, question it, and create something with you. So I started experimenting. For example, in the funny math project at Twinning, students calculated the height of the tree using the shadow and the Pythagorean theorem. This was a classic math project, but we had an AI component that transformed it. You use AI to power our STEAM projects. Apps to identify tree species and generate additional geometry problems based on our data, to create story and poems about their work, blending math and arts, for research, generating step-by-step instruction, and even creating artistic variation of their designs. For our Pythagorean tree project at Twinning, a fascinating geometry construction, AI was a key partner. Students used it for documentation, helping them understand fractals and right triangles, generate instruction, which they then refine and follow. For finally, explore artistic variation on their trees, transforming a geometry lesson into a creative visual experience. For our Marconi's Legacy project at Twinning, we put AI to work. Students used it to research the physics of wireless communication and to simulate how circuits work. Finally, they used generative artificial intelligence to create an in the interactive presentation or a short animated film explaining the story of Marconi's life and inventions in a creative and engaging way, art of communication. I saw an incredible change. Students become more critical, curious, and aware of the value of authentic truth. We realize that the student who knows how to ask an AI the right question is better prepared for the future than one who only knows how to answer them. For integrating artificial intelligence into STEM lessons, here are some other concrete examples for interdisciplinary projects that combine STEM discipline with AI. For example, building a weather station. Students learn about weather phenomena, how clouds, rain, wind form. They use sensor, collect data in real time, design and build a waterproof housing for the weather station. For collect data, organize it in graphs and table, and calculate means. Use a simple machine learning model to predict the weather. Um, Another example is creating and I generated the art gallery. Um, Students explore how light interact with different surfaces, use a graphic editing program, use AI as a digital paintbrush, guiding in truth that commands create unique image. Understand the algorithm behind the image generation. Um, AI is a central tool of the project. Students learn developing an intuitive understanding of how AI think creatively. For urban conservation projects, students study urban biodiversity and the impact of pollution, use app to identify plant and animal based on AI image recognition, design and build a smart habitat for bird or insect, create a visual map of the diversity of their neighborhood, analyze large data sets collected, use AI to process image and identify plant or animal species. So today in my classroom, the interdisciplinary puzzle has an additional key piece. AI, a piece that does not come to replace but to complete, challenge, and force us to evolve. Our goal is not to teach students to use a tool of today, but to develop in them those skills that will be essential in any future. Adaptability, creativity, critical thinking, and collaboration. Um, the role of the STEAM educator in 2025 um, is to be a guide, to create authentic learning context where AI is a tool, not a shortcut, to align classroom activity with the direction of and European strategic plan for STEM education. We, STEAM educator, are not a transmitter, just a transmitter of knowledge. We're architects of a future where science, technology, art, and humanity go hand to hand. Use artificial intelligence, but don't forget to cultivate question. We teach interdisciplinarity, but we don't lose sight of the human. The puzzle of education is complex, but together we can build with vision, with courage, with heart. Thank you for your attention and have a nice day. Bye.
Hi everyone, my name is Celestino Magalhães and I am a teacher here in Portugal at the Piaget Institute. Today I'm here to talk to you about how augmented reality could create new opportunities for us as teachers to teach the students, particularly on higher education. Augmented reality is a new technology or a kind of technology where you could explore the transformative potential of the learning process of the students, as this tool will revolutionize the teaching and learning process in schools. Uh, how could augmented reality do this? Augmented reality stands out as a groundbreaking technology in education, offers new ways to involve students in the learning process, and transforms teaching practices through immersive, interactive experiences. So let's see how some examples and how to use augmented reality inside our classrooms. But is augmented reality? Augmented reality is a technology that overlays digital information, digital objects, into the real world, enabling the dynamic and contextualized interaction. Some benefits of introducing and using AR in the education. Augmented reality offers numerous advantages that can transform the educational experience, making learning more engaging, effective, and memorable for students. How could this increase student engagement? AR creates a more engagement classroom atmosphere that naturally captures student interest. Students show greater participation and enthusiasm when interacting with AR content, and AR promotes hands-on involvement rather than a passive consumption of information. So, with AR, students interact directly with content, promoting active and collaborative learning. This approach allows the students to experience practical scenarios in a risk-free environment, solve problems from a innovative way through hands-on exploration, collaborate with peers on complex visualizations, and develop critical thinking through interactive challenges. AR in education helps increase knowledge retention as immersive experience stimulate memory formation and recall. AR combines visual elements with interactively reinforcing understanding through multiple sensory channels. Information is connected to visual spatial references, is more easily remembered and retrieved, and the novelty and excitement of AR experiences create emotional connections that strengthen memory formation. And how could we use AR in our classroom? Some examples of practical applications. AR technology is being successfully implemented across various academic disciplines, transforming how complex subjects are thought and understood. Anatomy education. AR provides 3D visualizations of body systems, allowing students to understand spatial relationships between organs, explore complex structures interactively, view anatomical models from multiple angles, and practice procedures in a safe environment. Examples in the history education. AR transforms history education by allowing students to visualize historical events and locations immersively. Students can see digital reconstructions of ancient ruins as they appear in their prime. AR enables detailed examination of digital replicas with contextual information overlays, and historical conflicts can be visualized in 3D, showing troop movements and strategy, for example. In engineering, students can overlay 3D models of their designs into real-world spaces, test mechanical properties and functions in virtual environments, and as teams can share and discuss projects in real time with these AR overlays. There are many free resources for content creation. Platforms like 3D Bear, Blip AR, ARLoop, Macrowheel AR allow educators to create AR experiences without programming skills. AR Codes is another tool, and with other similar tools, that enables the creation of printable markers that trigger digital content when scanned. And many platforms offer pre-designed templates, especially for education contests, simplifying the creation process for teachers and students. And with AR and VR in our classrooms, there are a sensory immersion for meaningful learning in the students. The collaborative learning, as they use virtual spaces to enable remote collaboration on shared projects. Active learning, students interact with and manipulate virtual objects for deeper understanding. Personalized learning, adaptive experiences adjust to individual needs and learning paces. Improved immersion, multisensory engagement creates memorable learning experience, and interactive learning, real-time feedback enhances understanding and retention. These are some examples of the work that students made inside the classroom using AR as a technological tool to improve the learning process. But we could also use AR on immersive web environments. Immersive web environments are web-based AR platforms that enable accessible immersive learning experience without specialized hardware. One example of a tool that you could use to create these immersive web environments is FrameVR. FrameVR is a browser-based virtual reality platform that allows teachers and students to create immersive learning spaces without specialized equipment. This is one example of a virtual space, a virtual immersive web environment created by students where they produce a virtual tour to an exhibition where they show the work that they did using video as a pedagogical tool to create the products and produce a meaningful learning in the learning process. Another example, now at math subject, where they create an exhibition of famous mathematicians, and they explore the biography of these mathematicians and show the work on this exhibition. Final thoughts. AR and VR integration presents a significant opportunities to transform teaching practices among teachers, increase student involvement and participation through interactive experiences, creates immersive practical interactions that deepen understanding, and prepare students for an increasingly digital professional landscape. So, as teachers, we must evolve. We hope that this presentation has inspired new ideas about how technologies, mainly this technology, augmented reality, and digital can transform education. Together, we can create a more innovative learning future for our students. So, thank you for your attention and see you soon. Bye.
Hello, I'm Maga from Georgia, a chemistry teacher, and I want to introduce you to our project, ChatForge, a combination of education and chatbots. Artificial intelligence has become an integral part of our daily lives. Our students regularly use ChatGPT to find information and answer questions. However, as observation shows, they don't know the specifics and rules of talking with chatbots, so the bot can provide them with exactly the information that the students need at a given moment. In addition, the interviews with the students shows that they don't know the principles of how chatbots work. Most of them have no idea about the algorithmic process that are going on behind the work of the bots. Some of them think that the bot is almost living, extremely intelligent creature, and we have already heard from them several times that it seems that ChatGPT no longer obeys its creators, and that people have lost control over its management. The students even told us about this fact with a slightly frightened expression. That's why we decided to create a chemical chatbots that would not search for answer from Google or other information bases, but would only provide these responses based on our programmed answers. The project lasted for 6 weeks according to the following plan. At the first stage, we searched for information and studied the theoretical principle of how chatbots work. Then we looked for platforms that would allow us to create a bot for free and at the same time would not be tied to various well-known information bases. We also had to think about how we would deliver this bot to students so that everyone could use it, meaning that in addition to a computer, the bot had to work on a mobile phone with any operating system. Our first attempt used Poe AI, but it still sourced answers from AI models like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude. In the second attempt, we tried Google Cloud Console and Dialogflow, which required basic coding knowledge and platforms integration. However, the chatbot functioned properly only on a computer and failed to open on mobile devices. Finally, we found ChatRace, which let us create chatbots that use only our programmed answers and worked on all devices. We uploaded approximately 200 questions and answers to the chatbot's database, covering topics from chemistry and biology relevant to elementary school students. Selected chemistry topics included states of matter and phase changes, composition of matter, molecules and atoms, air, its composition and components, classes of inorganic compounds, acids, bases, salt, and oxides. From biology, we included photosynthesis. To make the chatbot more fun, we included school-related content. We programmed the chatbot to respond with humor based on the information. To introduce the chatbot, we engaged students with a series of discussion questions. Have you ever used a chatbot? Which one? Do you know how it works? Does a chatbot knows everything? How does it gather information? Could a chatbot know details about our school? Do you think we could create a chatbot ourselves? They were excited and amazed by its fun, surprised, answered, reacting with laughter and curiosity. We think that our project was a success because we identified a challenge, explored the AI solution, and developed on our own chatbot. Beyond technical skills, it made students excited about STEAM and helped them engage with AI in a meaningful way.
Good afternoon. I'm Associate Professor Alina Pădurean from Aurel Vlaicu University of Arad, Romania, and the title of my presentation is AI in Education, Benefits, Challenges, and Bias. I will begin my presentation by mentioning the benefits that I have identified, namely the fact that AI adapts to student pace and learning style. It supports neurodiverse learners or those with learning difficulties, and we are all aware of the fact that we have more and more students with learning difficulties in our classrooms. It promotes fun, interactive, and challenging activities adapted to this generation of learners. It offers instant feedback, reduces anxiety, and supports learning. It keeps track of progress without constant grading and is very useful for teachers in their lesson planning activities. In terms of challenges, I have identified reduced personal engagement between students and educators, which is critical for learning motivation and emotional support, no equal access to technology among students, and the lack of teacher training or insufficient training in some cases in the use of AI in education. The bias I have identified are the fear of teacher replacement by technology, student data storage and other ethical issues, geographical and socio-economic issues. I will continue my presentation with a brief presentation of the most challenging and interesting apps that I have identified for STEAM education. For science, Labster with pros and cons like all apps. In terms of pros, I mention here safe and cost-effective alternative to physical labs, self-paced with built-in assessment and AI tutors, and 3D simulations. In terms of cons, it's a less hands-on experience than real-world labs. Not all schools can afford licensing, which is quite pricey, and the need for performant devices and high-speed internet. For technology, teachable machine, the pros are the fact that there's no coding required, is great for cross-disciplinary projects, for example, music, art, and coding. The cons are the fact that it is limited to ML activities and may feel too simplistic for more experienced or advanced learners. In terms of engineering, Fusion 360 is a very challenging app. It is a professional grade software used in industry. It encourages critical thinking and iterative design. In terms of cons, educational licenses can be limited or time bound and steep learning curve for beginners. For art, Runway ML is a very good app to be used. It stimulates creativity and experimentation, is great for storytelling, video, and design projects. In terms of cons, it raises questions about authorship and originality, and it may encourage over-reliance on AI in creative activities. Mathematics is presented here with Chamigo, which is great for remediation and enrichment alike. It offers personalized feedback in real time, and it has great lesson planning tools. It has also certain cons. Sometimes the AI explanations are wrong, and teacher guidance is needed, or at least a double check by a teacher, and students may become passive consumers if not guided properly. On the left side of the screen, you can see some apps that have AI incorporated tools that I find very interesting: Padlet, Love Voice, ChatGPT, of course, TurboScribe, AI Cambridge English, Grammarly, Socratic, Quizlet, etc. I'll continue my presentation with some practical activities that I have conducted with my students enrolled in primary education programs at our university. The activities have been conducted during our English class, and therefore they integrate STEAM activities and content and language integrated learning. I shall mention that these students are preparing to become primary education teachers. Therefore, these activities will be very useful for them in their future careers. I have integrated AI activities and hands-on activities. The competencies that I targeted are communication in a foreign language, digital proficiency, STEAM subject-related competencies. The benefits of such integrated activities are multiple. For instance, digital skills, cognitive skills, language skill development, creative thinking, group work, problem-solving skills, and student involvement in activities. In terms of classroom management, I mentioned here teamwork, as most activities are conducted in teams. Teachers are mentors, they organize information and they guide students throughout their work, and the evaluation is project-based, which is very useful for universities and students enrolled in undergraduate programs. In terms of materials, I have prepared, with the help of AI and hands-on activities, audiobooks, drawing boards for science, art, biology, astronomy, and handmade books, as well as digital worksheets with my students. For audiobooks, the activity consisted of preparing list of words related to STEAM subjects using ChatGPT for translation. Then my students generated a text with the help of AI that required teacher correction for content. Then pictures were generated with the help of Padlet. Love Voice was used for correct pronunciation, which is an activity that involves STEAM and CLIL, and the presentation in the classroom. The second activity, the handmade books, the activity was conducted in the following manner. First, the students prepared a list of words related to the STEAM subject. They searched for information online or through various apps. They prepared the book by crafting, drawing, painting the book. Then they presented it in front of the classroom and we organized a book exhibition. The drawing boards were conducted as follows. First, they searched and translated the keywords for STEAM subjects. Then they searched for information for their drawing boards. They drew, crafted, wrote the material, prepared the board, and presented it in front of the classroom. In the following slides, you can see some pictures of the work my students have completed, the drawing boards for science, astronomy, biology, combined with arts and English, as all of them were presented in English. The audiobook in the last picture is a combination, an integrated activity of science, technology, art, and English. Here you can see some drawing boards that combine science, art, and English. These are the handmade books that my students have prepared for science, biology, astronomy, mathematics, arts, and English, so integrated activities. The drawing boards, again, and the students presenting them. And before I say thank you, I shall present the book cover and the front page of a handmade book that refers to science and art, because it presents the life of panda bears and characteristic of panda bears, but everything is painted by hand by one of our students. Thank you very much for your attention. For further information, please write to alina.padurian@uav.ro. Thank you.
STEM education is evolving, but something has always been missing. Robotics programs often stop at just coding, or at building simple toy-like models with plastic blocks. What about creativity? What about real-world tools and components that children can shape, customize, and truly make their own? At the heart of this transformation is Otto. Yes, Otto is a robot, but more importantly, Otto is a gateway to imagination, design thinking, and hands-on learning in the age of AI. Otto takes learners to a complete cycle of technological creativity. Create, connect, code. Every Otto begins with imagination. Students can dream, sketch, or even generate AI-assisted designs, turning creative ideas into 3D printable models. Using tools like Maker's Empire and Otto's customizers, they can choose from a rich library of accessories, premium 3D files, and modular shells. Then, with any 3D printer, those dreams become reality. Watch as the students make parts in minutes, swap shells and decorations, and build robots that are truly unique. With Otto, imagination isn't limited to the screen. It becomes something you can touch, shape, and probably call your own. Once the design is ready, it's time to connect. Otto's modular build means no soldering, no complex wiring, just a simple screwdriver and curiosity. Step by step, Guided by a beautiful printed manual, learners assemble their Otto in minutes. And then the magic begins. With expansion kits, Otto can transform into a football-playing robot, a gaming console, even a smart device. Each part is swappable and repairable, giving students confidence to tinker, rebuild, and try it again. Otto turns the workshop into a playground of possibilities, where building is as easy as it is rewarding. Now Otto comes alive. Otto speaks your language. Whether you are a beginner coding in Scratch, a curious learner experimenting in Python, or an advanced student programming in C++ with Arduino, no installations, no barriers, Otto runs on a web-based app accessible from any type of device, whether it's mobile, tablet, or laptop. Built-in simulators let the students test their programs virtually while they can use any external AI-powered chatbot that helps them explore coding through prompts and natural conversation. From making Otto dance and play games to engineering smart devices, coding with Otto isn't just about learning logic, it's about creating experiences and watching ideas move into the real world. Otto is more than just a robot, it's a complete solution for classrooms and beyond. Students don't just watch technology, they live it. With Otto, they can take part in World Robotics challenges like the WRO, line following races, mazes, collection missions, sumo battles, or even football matches that turn learning into play. These activities spark more competition and collaboration, bringing STEAM to life in a way that excites every learner. For teachers, Otto provides everything needed to teach with confidence. Structured lessons plans, interactive webinars, and self-paced training that transforms robotics from a daunting subject into an empowering classroom tool. Whether it's a workshop, an after-school club, or an international tournament, Otto supports educators every step of the way. Most importantly, Otto puts a student in charge of their own learning journey. They choose the projects that inspire them, solve real-world problems along the way, and develop the critical thinking skills needed for the 21st century. No more passive or rigid lessons, just hands-on discovery, creativity and innovation that prepare the next generation to thrive in a fast-changing world. But Otto isn't just one robot, it's a complete STEM ecosystem. Every Otto kit includes hardware, software, codes, games, and educational content, all designed to work seamlessly together. Expansion kits add new capabilities. Sense introduces environmental sensors. Interact brings tactile control. Emote lets Otto express with displays and sounds. And Invent encourages endless creativity with building bricks. And if a part ever gets lost, simply print a new one with HP's high-quality filaments. Ready in minutes. Otto is sustainable, modular, and fully compatible with the tools the schools already use. It's not just a product, it's a platform for creativity and invention. The world is evolving faster than ever. To prepare the next generation, we need more than just passive learning. We need tools that empower students to invent, to question, and to lead in a fast-paced technological evolution. Otto bridges creativity and technology, turning students into makers, not just users. Together, we can shape the future. Create, connect, code. Discover Otto today.
Hi, my name is Federica Pastore. I'm a project manager at Excite, and today I'm happy to present the STEAM Learning Ecologies project. STEAM Learning Ecologies is an Horizon Europe project developing engaging open schooling enabled science learning path, connecting formal, informal, non-formal education providers, civil society, governmental agencies, and industry. All the stakeholders involved in a STEAM learning ecology work together on a real-life challenge in a collaborative and inclusive learning environment where every stakeholder has equal roles and the space to take the lead. STEAM learning ecologies is about breaking down walls between school and communities, theory and practice, taking learning out of the classroom and into the real world. From January 2023 to today, the project has developed 100 STEAM learning ecologies across 15 countries, bringing together teachers, students, families, scientists, engineers, and many other experts to create inclusive and hands-on experiences. Each one of the 100 STEAM learning ecologies is unique, tackling real-life challenges across a very diverse range of STEAM topics. Many tackled environmental awareness and sustainability. Some others focused on creativity and entrepreneurship, on empathy and social awareness, or on technology and innovation. Students of all ages developed AI solutions, they built smart devices, they designed sustainable cities, created films and podcasts, and engaged with emerging technologies such as 3D printing, robotics, game design, and bioprinting. Students visited universities, research centers, companies, and museums. They collaborated with scientists, artists, entrepreneurs, and local communities, becoming active innovators and change makers. Some STEAM learning ecologies explored the role of artificial intelligence, encouraging critical engagement with its applications and ethics. And today I will present two of these initiatives. In Spain, students created short films about the Sustainable Development Goals using generative AI tools. This project brought together students and non-formal education partners, including a digital media company and a museum, to explore together how creativity and technology can tell powerful stories. Students and teachers of these STEAM learning ecologies reflected on the use of AI, on its possibilities and limitations, while also fostering environmental awareness, critical thinking, and creativity. In Norway, students used responsible AI to tackle the complexity of sick leave management within Norway's welfare system. They looked at how AI could help reduce the confusion and miscommunication between employers, healthcare providers, and patients. This was a real-world challenge, and the students approached it with empathy, system thinking, and a focus on the ethical use of AI. Those are only two of the 100 STEAM learning ecologies developed. If you want to know more about the other initiatives and the methodology, you can visit the STEAM Learning Ecologies project website or follow us on social media. STEAM Learning Ecologies is also part of Open Schooling Together, a community connecting projects, organizations, and individuals passionate about open schooling and STEAM education beyond the classroom. It represents a bottom-up movement currently comprising 18 EU-funded projects and 190 organizations, including schools, museums, science centers, policymakers, universities, research centers, and community groups. If you want to know more about Open Schooling Together, you can visit our website or follow us on social media and subscribe to the Open Schooling newsletter. Thank you.
Using AI feels a little like using a microwave or a slot machine. You press a button, you wait, and you hope for a good outcome. The hidden problem is that we're being trained to consume technology, to use it passively, to blindly accept its limitations and its uncertainties. Today, I will discuss why we need to embrace and foster a maker mindset when it comes to AI in education. A maker-minded person treats AI like a workshop. They use it as a place to tinker, experiment, remix, customize, and build something. They are open to new perspectives and possibilities. What I hope you take away from my presentation is that there are better and more healthy ways to use AI than the dominant one that's being pushed to students and educators. One that involves more agency and more creativity. One where you take on the role of a creator rather than a consumer of AI. Agency is essential. Without it, we lose our motivation, our resilience, our curiosity, and our creative confidence. My big worry with current AI platforms like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and even more concerningly, AI education, student-facing AI platforms like Magic School, School AI, and Flint, is that they are overlooking agency, undermining learning, and even killing creativity. For my workshop, I will showcase examples of STEAM-focused AIs that students created using Sage Education's AI workshop platform. I'll also demonstrate how easy, fun, useful, and most importantly, empowering it is to create your own AIs. Before we jump in, I would like to thank the EASE community for inviting me to reimagine AI in STEAM with you. For my workshop, I'll share links using QR codes, so I invite you to grab a secondary device to scan them and participate. I've taught IB music performance and music technology in Montreal, Canada for 20 years. One of my favorite STEAM music projects was when I taught my senior band students how to solder and fix their broken music equipment. This project was inspired by The Story of Stuff, a cartoon and book by Annie Leonard. In our music STEAM project, we explored how many of our belongings are often designed to wear out quickly and to break, with the intended consequence that we consume and buy more. This is called planned obsolescence. Through our Music Fix-It Lab experience, we repaired headphones, guitars, patch cords, speakers, cell phone screens, and more. We'll come back to this STEAM music project later though. I now want to pivot and explain why I became interested in AI beyond simply just experimenting with generative AI music apps. My more in-depth interest in AI started a few years ago with a little seed. This seed opened my eyes to how big AI is trapping us in an unhealthy, over-consumerist approach, which parallels the lessons from The Story of Stuff. In generative AI, the seed is a parameter that randomizes the probability of a token output, so basically a word. If this parameter is set to a specific number, then the output token is deterministic. And if it can be determined, then you can reproduce the same output over and over. This can give you the ability to generate consistent, unique outputs. Let's have some fun and explore this on Hugging Face. I invite you to create a free Hugging Face account and let's play with the seed parameter using a text-to-image diffusion. For my image prompt, I chose to focus on cats. So I wrote B&W tuxedo cat reclining on a carpet, oil on canvas, 48 by 48. Here are 3 outputs from 3 random seeds. So we have kitty cat number 1, and then I run it again, and you can see kitty cat number 2. And here is kitty cat number 3. Now when you use the same prompt and unselect in the advanced settings randomized seed, and then choose seed number 664808544 instead, you will get this image. Go ahead and try it, but make sure you copy my exact prompt. Even adding extra spaces will change the output. Why do proprietary AIs hide parameters like the seed from the user? And why do they set the seed value to be randomized by default? They want us to believe in AI magic. They say AI is a black box. Well, it is, by definition, if you make its internal workings not visible or accessible, making it difficult to understand. I think big AI wants to train us to use AI like a gambler at a casino, perpetually pressing a button to see what we get next, which is also similar to the pull to refresh action we were trained to do for social media, giving us that next dopamine hit. These are unhealthy ways to interact with AI. They don't help anyone understand how AI works. As STEAM educators, we need to foster curiosity, exploration, experimentation, innovation, and thinking critically and creatively. Understanding AI concepts like parameters, such as seeds, temperature, top K values, and understanding the importance of the system prompt, which is different from the chat prompt, and I'll explain more on that later, along with my personal concerns about data privacy, gradually showed me big AI's true colors. The majority of AI companies prioritize controlling access and are transparent. It's for this reason that my husband and I built Sage Is, an open source AI platform for individuals, startups, and small businesses, and Sage Education for schools to give learners and educators ethical and accessible AI tools. Let's see what students created with Sage. In our first example, grade 7 and 8 students created APA, AstroPi AI, which is an AI created to mentor students with Python coding for the AstroPi Space Challenge. The European AstroPi Challenge is an educational initiative run by the European Space Agency in collaboration with the Raspberry Pi Foundation. Let's go into the workshop and search AstroPi. Here it is. Notice that you can choose from many different base models, and the system prompt is about only 7 lines. And there's a knowledge base that the students have created, one for AstroPi rules and the other one for Python coding. Let's compare the same question in ChatGPT and with AstroPi AI. Notice that ChatGPT has a much longer answer and AstroPi is much shorter and straight to the point. And also AstroPi AI really just encourages students to focus on the project and get to work on the project, whereas ChatGPT kind of really digs in and explains everything possible under the moon. Next, let's meet Maggie, made by grade 11 students. Maggie is an AI mentor for young women interested in STEM. Notice with Maggie, when students ask a question, it references and says the relevance that the material is pulled from their knowledge base. Sage Education is our AI platform designed for educators and learners of all ages. Unlike traditional AI ed tech platforms, Sage gives schools precise controls over students' AI access, scaffolding learning just like a teacher would. At its core, it's a workshop where users don't just use AI, but create their own tools and agents. No other platform offers this level of customization, accessibility, and creative freedom. With Sage, you choose the AI model that fits your goal, or you even build your own. System prompts are the hidden instructions, guidelines, and contextual information that set the stage for a large language model's behavior during an interaction. Think of system prompts like stage directions for an actor or your character sheet in a role-playing game. These instructions are hidden from the audience and shape how an AI behaves before you even start chatting. Big AI systems prompts are trade secrets that enable them to tune the behavior of an AI model to role-specific guidelines, tone instructions, and creativity constraints. What your system prompt needs. First of all, who is your AI? You need to establish a clear persona and/or a tone, so you need to specify the context. Who's your audience, specific subject, topics, grade levels. Secondly, what tasks do you want your AI to do? So define the task using clear action verbs like explain, create, provide, generate. Give instructions by providing concise guidelines of what you want the end product to be. Now that we know how system prompt works, let's put this to action and make our first AI. So I mentioned that I wanted to come back to my music project where my students learned how to fix their own instruments, and I was thinking if I could make an AI to help them, that would be really great. So let's make an iFixit music helper. And I've already sort of brainstormed the system prompt with the who is your AI and what is your task. So let's go ahead and copy and paste that in. I also chose my base model. I went for Sage, but you can choose any base model you want. Okay, so now that I have that, you can also play around with the parameters. I'm not going to do that right now, and suggest a prompt suggestion for the user when they're using in the chat bot. You could also add knowledge from your knowledge base. At the moment I didn't make any, but I could definitely add some, like what tools are available, for example, in our woodshop makerspace. So now let's test out the chat and see if it works the way I want it to work. I'm testing it as if I was a student, and it pretty much answered, and you can go back and forth. Now let's build another AI, this time from a student's perspective. If I was a student, I sometimes, struggle with time management and just organizing myself to get all my homework done. So let's make a student task management helper to help organize myself. As far as my system prompt, I've already, again, pre-made it just to keep things short. And for my base model, again, I just chose Sage. Again, you can experiment and see from which base model you prefer using. While I've been testing it, I noticed that my system prompt didn't really understand that students go to school during the day. It was asking me if I wanted to study math in the morning, afternoon, or in the evening. So I had to go and adjust my system prompt just to add to the parameters the understanding that I'm in school as a student all day from approximately 9 to 4. And then later on, I also just, added a few other details just to reinforce a balanced life, making sure I don't, spend time on social media too much and all things like that. I welcome you to scan this QR code and learn more helpful tips on how to make a system prompt. Professor Dr. Ken Robinson once said of the art of teaching, "Gardeners know that they don't make the plants grow. Plants grow themselves. The job of a gardener is to create the best conditions for that to happen." When students use generative AI with a maker mindset and are provided with the tools to make their own AIs, they are more likely to question the limitations of the AI, think creatively about its applications, and develop a deeper understanding of the underlying technology. More importantly, they gain agency over their learning and their creative process. In a way, they become a budding seed themselves. I hope I've inspired you to approach using AI in a healthier and more maker-minded way. I hope you explore creating your own AIs with Sage, and I thank you for your time. Have a great day. I welcome you to scan this QR code and visit SageIs and try a free account.
Ever wondered how interactive learning could transform your classroom? Introducing EASE, the European Network of STEAM Educators, your gateway to a dynamic world of educational simulators. Our open access simulators empower students to dive into subjects like astronomy with the Solar System Explorer, understand mechanics through 3D simulations, and explore music with our Musical Tones simulator. Each simulator encourages hands-on learning, letting students visualize concepts in real time. Plus, educators can customize and create their own simulators, contributing to our ever-growing resource library while enjoying revenue sharing. Ready to elevate your STEAM teaching? Don't miss out. Join the EASE community and unlock a new era of learning today.
Hello everyone! I'm really excited to be here at the EASE Summit with so many inspiring educators. My name is Simona Popescu, I am from Romania, and today I will present to you my unbelievable story, a cross-curricular e-twinning journey into STEAM and sustainability. I am a primary school teacher at school number 3, Voluntar Romania. I am passionate about e-twinning and Erasmus projects, and deeply committed to digital education and STEAM integration. I am proud to be a finalist of both the Meet and Code Awards 2024 and the Exceptional Teachers Gala 2025. My goal is to empower children through STEAM, creativity, collaboration, and meaningful learning experiences. The Unbelievable Story is an international e-twinning project that connects environmental awareness with STEAM learning. It invites students to explore the vital role of pollinators, especially bees, through creative, hands-on, and digital activities. This project was all about blending technology, science, and storytelling while nurturing global connections. Our goals were simple but powerful: to raise awareness about pollinators and ecosystems, to promote sustainable thinking, and strengthen digital scientific literacy. We also focused on fostering international collaboration and creativity, and making STEAM relevant and exciting across the curriculum. Students designed 3D pollinator habitats using Tinkercad, explored bee anatomy using augmented reality tools like Quiver and MergeCube, and built eco-friendly beehives from recycled materials. They also created digital books, comics, and posters to spread awareness about and documented everything using Padlet and StoryJumper. The Unbelievable Story was not just about bees. It was about building bridges between classrooms across Europe. This project brought together students and teachers from Romania, Turkey, Spain, Croatia, Lithuania, Georgia, and France. It was truly a global classroom experience. One of the key strengths of our project was how naturally we integrated technology into every phase of learning. We integrated a range of digital tools to support STEAM learning: Tinkercad for 3D design, MergeCube and Quiver for AR experiences, and Canva and Genially for visual creation. This project wasn't just about learning facts. It was about developing real-world skills in an engaging and meaningful way. Students developed a wide range of 21st century skills: digital literacy, safe use of technology, environmental awareness, creativity, scientific observation, and design thinking. They also learned to collaborate across cultures, think critically, and express themselves in innovative ways. The project sparked real change. Many students took action at home and at school, from planting bee-friendly flowers to reducing plastic use. Teachers noticed a visible improvement in digital skills, teamwork, and creativity. It also received external recognition, being one of the top 3 finalists in the Meet and Code Awards 2024 in the Code for the Planet category. Like, like any international project, we faced a few challenges, but we learned to be more flexible, to support each other, and to give everyone the chance to contribute. In the end, it made our project stronger because real collaboration happens when we work together. This project showed us that even the youngest learners can make a real impact. What made the project truly unique was the way it combined real environmental action with digital creativity. It gave students a voice, empowered them to make a difference, and allowed them to connect with peers across Europe. It's a perfect example how STEAM can spark purpose-driven learning. Let's continue to connect classrooms, build skills, and grow future change makers, one unbelievable step at a time. Thank you for the opportunity to share our unbelievable story. I hope it inspires more educators to blend STEAM, sustainability, and international collaboration in creative ways. Let's continue to build a stronger, greener, and more innovative future together. Thank you very much.
Hello to everyone and welcome to my presentation Water Matters, a STEAM exploration of clean water and sanitation. I am Amanda Tarcangelo. I am a teacher of mother tongue, history and geography in a lower secondary school in Italy. I'm also scientist ambassador and I am ISA member board. But let me introduce the project, the key the concept of the project and the students' activity. At first, I can tell that this is an interdisciplinary project, a STEAM project, because it combines at the same time STEAM subjects such as science and technology, also math, and non-STEAM subjects such as mother tongue and geography, and also civic education. Students realized several activities, researching, using digital tools such as Canva and Google Earth. They realized tinkering activity, and they reflected on the whole process. The first step was the introduction of the topic of course. I prepared for them a questionnaire with PanQuiz. PanQuiz is a useful and easy tool that is really easy to use. And the students discuss on the water scarcity and how it affects the human right. We watched together several YouTube video, and we research for a lot of resource, important resource from the UNICEF or the UN. And they realized a mind map. Another step was the realization of the tinkering activity. At first, they realized the AI imaging using Canva tool, Canva Designer. The image, it was an important moment because they learned how we can give a good prompt for realize the presentation, in this case the image. And the second part was the realization of the diorama. Diorama is a 3D model, handmade. They realized a landscape with clean water and a landscape with polluted water. Another tinkering activity was the realization of the water filter. We joined the NASA tutorials. You can find it easily online. Students used cheap material, and it was interesting to observe the difference in water clarity and discuss the real life application. Students learned digital skills using Canva. It was the first time that they use this app, so they learned the basic tools, how to create a slide, how to choose a presentation, the model of the presentation, how to upload an image, how to put in a link. Another interesting part was the creation of the project on Google Earth. They learn how to put a pin on the map, how to upload an image into the project, how to navigate on the planet on the Earth. The final part was the presentation and the evaluation. Students presented their work to other classmates. They filled a questionnaire that I also prepared with the quiz, and reflected on the whole process. As you can see in this image, Panquiz give me a detailed report of the answer of each student. Just a moment on the use of the AI for this project. AI supported this project in helping me to better organizing and planning all the project. He provide a quick access to the information and to the resource, and it helped me to create the learning materials and also the quiz for my students. Of course, I adapted all the material to my needs. Students used in indirectly way the AI. They answered to the questionnaire, to the quiz that I have prepared for them, and they consciously used AI when they created their image with Canva. Of course, this project can be implemented. I give you just two tips. One is the focus on the local problems, and the other is to integrate in this project some strategy from the universal design for learning in order to better help the student with special needs. Thank you for your attention.
Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be here and take part in the summit of STEAM Educator. I'm here to present a twinning project with my partners, and so we can see what we did in this project. Okay. Let's start. In this project are involved 11 teachers and more than 100 students from different schools in different countries of the Europe. And the outcomes are creative thinking, digital literacy, ocean literacy, and the teamwork, international cooperation, because the students use the artificial intelligence tools to study ocean literacy. In particular, in the curriculum integration of this project is involved key competencies, soft skills, an international community of the students and teachers, because it all begins with ocean literacy, but to be continued in the curriculum integration of our schools. The aims of this project is to develop ocean literacy, ocean knowledge, artificial intelligence use, but also promote a collaboration among international students, teamwork, international teamwork, and promote active citizenship connected to the sea. In the first step of this project, students study the ocean literacy concept and the artificial intelligence concept by research using artificial intelligence tool, and the products are online exhibitions, for example, a brainstorming maps or a common video product during a meeting, an online meeting, and also a pretest, an important pretest that show the previous knowledge about the ocean of the students. During the first step, we have taken part in the local events, such as the Deforestation Day. In the second step, building ocean knowledge, the ocean data are researched and elaborated using the tools of artificial intelligence, and the students present data and elaboration in a workshop, in an online workshop. The products are infographics like this, videos, and in interactive maps, an interactive map, and also a promise, an infographic about promise zero waste. In the third steps, European Blue Schools, students study the conservation and protection of nature by the oceans and other ecosystems. The activities connected is a challenge, and in particular, the product students they have to do are a common product, a digital video and a song, and a digital map, interactive maps. And then students have written a letter to the sea using the artificial intelligence, and also question and answered made by artificial intelligence tools. In the first steps, the final products are a calendar of blue future and a dictionary of made in mixed teams, international mixed teams, and then the post test about ocean literacy that show that students increase the awareness about the ocean literacy. The subjects involved are biology, geography, and chemistry about water and oceans, but also informatic technologies, civic education, and English. These pre- and post-test results show that students gained awareness of the ocean conservation, sustainability, developed the AI enhanced the project for the future and for their curriculum. The cross-cultural collaboration and multilingual communication skills are developed in the students, and also the active citizenship and the critical thinking. For the teacher, the collaboration are improved, the connection with other schools, and digital pedagogy also for teacher. Parents are involved because students are from 16 to 18, and also parents taking part in a workshop, and parents have seen the digital product of their students. And I'm grateful to be here and to present this project, and also I'm very happy to have taken part in this e-twinning project. Goodbye.
Hello everyone, my name is Natalia Spiropoulou, and my presentation focuses on how we support STEAM educators through the STEAM competence framework, the first competence framework developed specifically for them. This framework is the central outcome of my research, and I will also show how it has been applied in several European projects to strengthen professional development and practice. As we all know, educators are central to STEAM education, yet they often lack training, resources, and clear guidance. Assessment of interdisciplinary work is also difficult. Existing frameworks such as DigiCommEdu were helpful but not specific enough for STEAM educators. This is why we created STEAM Competence Framework, designed with and for educators and validated with more than 300 professionals from 21 countries. The framework identifies 5 roles educators take in STEAM education training. Across these roles, we structure 16 competency areas and 44 competencies, providing both clarity and flexibility for our educators' professional growth. Inspired by European frameworks like DigiCommEdu and refined through research and collaboration, STEAM Competence Edu bridges traditional subject knowledge with interdisciplinary teaching approaches. Perspective is the educator as teacher training tutor. This role is about effective teaching. Educators apply diverse methods, integrate subjects, and promote collaboration. They ensure inclusion, engagement, and personalized learning while assessing students with timely feedback. Next, we have the educator as learning designer and creator. This role focuses on designing learning opportunities. Educators create STEAM courses, develop content and tools, and guide learners in building competencies and exploring careers paths in STEAM. Next, we have the educator as orchestrator and manager. Here, the emphasis is on coordination. Educators manage processes, resources, and teaching spaces while organizing collaborative STEAM activities and supporting teamwork. The educator as community member. This role expands beyond the classroom. Educators participate in communities of practice, networks, and collaboration with institutions, industry, policymakers, helping to raise awareness and implement STEAM strategies. Finally, we have the educator's professional. This perspective includes the role which highlights personal and professional growth. Educators build transferable and digital skills, apply ethical practices, and engage in continuous development through reflection, research, and lifelong learning. Here we can see an example of a specific competency area and the more specific competencies. The strength of the framework is shown in its applications. It was used as a base to develop different tools, providing direct examples of research translated into practice. In the SPICE project, for example, at Teacher Academies, it was extended into inclusive STEAM competence framework. In the STEM on Edu project, the competence framework was used in order to propose new occupation profiles that define emerging roles for STEM education, like pedagogy experts or ambassadors. In different projects, training pathways combine MOOCs, massive open online courses, blended formats, and exchanges, mobilities of educators were implemented and developed based on the STEAM competence framework. Also, a self-assessment tool that helps educators reflect on their STEAM readiness was developed based on the specific competencies of the STEAM competence framework. And finally, stronger communities of practice that encourage peer learning, along with an alliance for inclusive STEAM education. To conclude, the STEAM competence framework is more than a framework. It is a bridge between research and practice. By defining the roles and competencies of STEAM educators and by applying it in European initiatives, we have shown that competence-based approaches can truly empower teachers and guide policy. The message is simple. When we support educators, we strengthen STEAM education itself and prepare learners for the challenges of the future. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Jasmina Stuhli and I come from Tuzla, Bosnia and Herzegovina. I teach English as a second language in primary school Sjenjak. Even though I do not teach STEAM subject, I have given countless STEAM lessons and completed numerous STEAM projects, one of which I'm talking about today. Can singing help learning a language was a STEAM project with main goal of teaching a group of 5 gifted students the scientific method. Hypothesize, experiment, analyze, and conclude to either prove or disprove the hypothesis. We started by students answering the project question. 4 of them said that singing helps learning a language, while 1 student said that it is only for having fun and not learning. As I was about to teach irregular verbs, they had several tasks to do in order to test their hypothesis. In one 45-minute lesson, They made a list of 24 irregular verbs that rhyme in the past. They prepared a worksheet with 5 differentiated tasks. I demonstrated how to make a Kahoot quiz, and by the end of the lesson, they had a 15-question online quiz. Both the worksheet and the quiz included the irregular verbs presented in the rhyme. I was teaching in 3 classes of the same grade, so 12-year-old students. I gave 3 similar yet different lessons on past simple irregular verbs. The introduction and the final part were the same in all classes. We revised past simple of regular verbs and played Kahoot quiz in the end. What was different was main part of the lesson, the methods. Also, before and after each lesson, the gifted students tested their peers to examine the effectiveness of the methods to see how many irregular verbs were actually learned. In class 7A, singing method was adopted. The students were rapping irregular verbs, hence the title of my presentation, Rap the Past. Soon AI was used to create a song. An example was given at the beginning of the lesson, so either the song or the teacher says the words in white and the students say the word in yellow, the irregular form.
Point. When I say take, you say took. Take, took. When I say shake, you say shook. Shake, shook. When I say write, you say wrote.
Students had real fun rapping and transforming the classroom into a stage. In class 7B, control practice was prepared by the gifted students, so irregular verbs were alphabetically displayed on the board and students were practicing by completing the tasks. In class 7C, we had combination of the 2 methods. The students were rapping several times, then they completed the worksheet, but since we had less time, they did the shorter version with tasks 1, 2, and 4. I expected this method to work the best, however, the results proved me wrong. After the group of these 5 students analyzed the data, calculated percentage, designed the graphs, their results showed that singing method was the most successful and the controlled one, very often done in schools, was the least successful. As this was a small-scale experiment, additional research had to be done to support the findings. So using their phones, they shared ideas and information in Padlet and created posters in Canva. Their research shows that singing helps learning new words, developing speaking and listening skills, improving grammar, and provides other related benefits. They actively presented their work to all 3 participating classes. They even designed a project newspaper and prepared a project video report for the school's council of teachers. So if we look at the STEAM areas, all 5 were covered. However, there is an additional area, in this case, English language S plus X. STEAM plus X framework was proposed in 2023, where X stands for any discipline outside the 5 STEAM areas with an aim to establish connections between technical and social sciences, say the authors. So why not humanities and the English language as a foreign language? By integrating STEAM projects in English language classes, we help students learn specialized terminology, improve literacy, and enhance not only their language, but also real-world problem-solving skills. To finish my presentation, I will quote a famous Chinese proverb which says, "I hear and I forget, I see and I remember. I do and I understand." So as educators, let's design learning the students can hear and see, but most importantly, the one they can do, because that is when true understanding happens. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Thelma Xavier and I'm a primary school teacher in Portugal. I work at a public primary school and today I'm truly happy to share with you a project called toolkits, which focuses on introducing programming and artificial intelligence to young learners. This project is also part of my PhD in Science and Technology, and it was born from a desire to make programming and AI accessible, engaging, and relevant, even for children in their very first years at school. The world is changing fast. Children today are surrounded by smartphones, tablets, smart TVs, and even smart speakers, but in many cases, they only learn how to use these devices, not how they actually work. Code Kids started with a simple but powerful question. What if we could teach programming and AI in a playful and meaningful way, starting in the first years of school? We began working with students from the third and fourth grades. The idea was to explore what children of this age could achieve with the right guidance. The results surprised us. They were curious, fearless, and eager to experiment. Our main goal is to support children in moving from being passive consumers of technology to becoming active creators, designing, programming, and even reflection on how AI impacts their lives. To make this possible, we bring coding to life with a mix of simple and digital tools that every child can access. Our journey starts with unplugged activities so children understand the logic behind coding. Then, with Scratch, students design animations, games, and short stories, learning programming concepts while expressing their creativity. On Code.org, they program with characters like Minecraft, Frozen, or Angry Birds, and also take their first steps into artificial intelligence. What makes these tools especially valuable is that they are free, accessible, and easy to use. Most importantly, even a basic knowledge of this technology gives children confidence and empowers them to become creators in a fast-changing digital world. Across all these activities, students work in pairs or small groups, learning not only programming but also how to communicate, share ideas, and collaborate effectively. The results have been truly inspiring. Students show greater curiosity not only for technology but also for mathematics, science, and even creative writing. Collaboration has also grown. Children support each other, celebrate successes together, and learn from mistakes without fear. The sense of agency transforms the way they see themselves in the world as capable, confident, and ready to join in creating a more inclusive and innovative future. I believe that when you give children the right tools and opportunities early on, we are opening doors for creativity, problem solving, and a deeper understanding of the world they are growing up in. In the next phase, first and second graders will also explore the Bebot digital platform, where they can program simple sequences and practice problem solving in an engaging interactive environment. Code Kids is aligned with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal for quality education. We believe digital education must start early, ensuring that every child, regardless of background, gender, or social context, has equal opportunities for the future. The introduction of programming and AI in primary education is not just about technology. It is a way to face social challenge, foster a culture of peace and responsibility, and prepare students for ethical and critical participation in our digital world. Code Kids is still growing, but it already shows that change is possible. My hope is that this journey can inspire other educators to start similar projects adapted to their classrooms and contexts. If you are curious, if you want to share experiences, or if you would like to collaborate, I would be delighted to connect. Thank you for listening and for joining me in building a brighter, more inclusive future for education. Bye!
Hello, my name is Maria Желяскова. I work at the Department of Information and Teacher Training at Trachea University, Bulgaria. Today, I will present the topic of technological inspiration, STEAM in the age of artificial intelligence. In recent years, we have witnessed the rapid development of AI and its impact on various aspects of our lives, including education. In Bulgaria, the topic of applying the STEAM approach in education and its benefits has been widely discussed over the past 5-6 years. Over the past 2 years, there has been active discussion about the application of AI in education, and teacher training has begun. Starting in 2024, the study of AI was included in the IT curriculum at the high school level. This sparked my interest in the topic of STEAM in the AI era. Integrating AI into STEAM education offers an opportunity to enhance student learning by encouraging the development of creativity, teamwork, critical thinking, and problem solving skills. AI supports STEAM education by adapting content to learning needs and styles, improving understanding and retention of skills. It is also important to note that AI can assist teachers in their teaching practice by being used to create personalized, dynamic learning experience, fostering 21st century skills. In this presentation, I will focus on the skills that are developed through STEAM and AI in tools that can support the processes of creating learning experience. The integration of AI into STEAM allows teachers to encourage creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving skills in their students. These modern skills teach learners the ability to navigate the complex conditions of this digital age. In this presentation, I will focus on only some of these skills: creativity, collaboration, problem solving, and critical thinking. creativity. The inclusion of the arts in STEAM places a strong emphasis on developing creativity. Creativity allows one to assess situations from different perspectives, make unconventional decisions, and feel confident in changing environments. A person with developed creative thinking can generate ideas and develop the ideas of others. STEAM education requires the ability to consider and propose solutions to a given problem through a variety of creativity and non-standard approaches. Tools such as those listed on the slide use AI to support creativity by creating music, educational animations, images, stories, and more. Collaboration is the ability to define a common goal and ways to achieve it, isn't roles, and evaluate the outcome. In education, these skills are achieved by working in groups or teams, most often using the learning project method. In STEAM education, students are given the opportunity to work with different teams to develop and present their innovative projects, solution to real-world problems. Communication skills are needed to exchange information between students in the team, persuading or explaining. Platforms such as Google Classroom and Microsoft Teams, which are the most commonly used in Bulgarian for working on shared documents, integrated AI into their application, which facilitates communication and teamwork on projects. Critical thinking is a key skill developed through STEAM training. It is the ability to navigate the flow of information, see cause and effect, the relationships, filter out in the unnecessary and draw conclusions. To find solution even in the face of failure, one must understand the reason for success and failures. Problem solving is one of the most important skills children need to develop. It prepares them to deal with more complex academic and personal problems they will encounter as they grow up. By introducing problem solving situations in the classroom, students learn the steps to solving a problem, identifying the problem, proposing possible solutions, testing the solutions, and analyzing the results in a controlled environment with the help of teachers who guide them as they master their skills. Teachers can use AI application to create problem situations from specific STEAM lessons. Students can use various AI applications such as ChatGPT and others to submit their request for solutions, ideas, and analyze and evaluate the information, which is important for developing critical thinking. With the advent of AI in learning, it is increasingly necessary to develop this skill. In the IT curriculum in Bulgaria, as early as grade 8, special topics are devoted to building critical thinking for information created through AI. For example, AI develops critical thinking not by its use alone, but by the way students interact with it. Software such as Eduate and Magical School help create worked problems, worksheets, and materials needed to implement STEAM activities to help develop problem-solving skills. For example, in one of the STEAM lessons I created for 9th grade students, I used the two tools mentioned in the previous slide to generate ideas for lesson structure and worksheet creation. On the slide, you see a picture of the worksheet. As well, I used the Rainforest website to create a video to present the problem situation. In the lessons, students are encouraged to use AI tools to solve the problem situation and implement their project. In the 8th grade IT curriculum, they learn AI, how to research, keep their data, and recognize. These key skills teach students the ability to navigate and cope in the digital age and contribute to the development of society. AI can also support the creation of STEAM lessons. STEAM education focuses not only on basic technical skills, but also on a deep understanding of how technology can be used to solve problems and create new projects. The emphasis is on student skills from basic programming to the use of AI and robotics technologies. In this way, students are prepared for the needs of the 21st century. In the age of AI, we educators have a unique opportunity and responsibility to develop students who not only use technology but also understand it, question it, and create new resources and products through it. AI can generate code, text, or images, but it cannot replace human imagination, empathy, and morality. This is where STEAM comes into to connect science and art, technology and ethics, logic and emotion. Thank you for your attention.
Today, we kicked off the 4th European Summit for STEAM Educators. Day 1 brought together teachers, school leaders, and partners from across the world. We explored how AI can empower teaching and learning without losing the human touch. Speakers shared practical classroom ideas, tools, and inspiring projects. We saw hands-on demos, lightning talks, and thoughtful discussions on responsible use. From creativity with code to inclusive design, the focus stayed on students. Community was the highlight. New connections, new collaborations, real momentum. Thank you to everyone who presented, moderated, and contributed in the event. Miss the session? Watch the replays and grab the resources on the event page. Tomorrow, Day 2 Diver, workshop, showcases, and a collective educators declaration. See you there. Let's keep reimagining STEAM together.